rejected. You know the denial. This is the significant point. Swamiji emphasized that when you know that you do not know, logically, the knower is still there. When you objectify the five koshas, they are known. It means that the knower is separate from the known. Even for the negation of consciousness, there first has to be another consciousness to negate it. To deny the knowledge, you need a knowledge of denial. In Sloka 13, we see that the knower Atma is not experienced. If you know that these five koshas are denied, then the knower remains. The objection is that the original knower is not known. Atma is not known to because Atma itself is knowledge. The process of knowledge is not applied there. We now have prajnanaghanam, the mass of knowledge. And the process of knowing the knower here is the very essence of knowledge or consciousness. There is no process in the case of Atma. There is an absence of the difference of knower, knowing, and the known. Experience is objectified, and this is not there in Atma. If something cannot be objectified, you say that it cannot be known and experienced. Therefore, Atma cannot be known. The knowing process can be stopped by meditation, practice, sadhana, and practice of samadhi. Or you can apply this logic very well. Then the mind will accept that there is nothing other than the ahameva asmi. This is what we call as the essential nature of Atma, Swaroopa Jnanam. Atma is not known because there is no intellectual separation of object and subject. Upanishad says Atma cannot be absent. All other processes give way, but Atma exists. The process of knowledge and Swarupa knowledge is separated. In Sloka 14, Vidyaranya Swami gives us an example of the sweetness of the sugar to elaborate on this. Atma gives its knowledge, bliss, everything to others. Others cannot give bliss, etc. to Atma because Atma is the only source. Therefore, Atma knowledge is the Swarupam. So, Atma does not have to get knowledge. Vedanta gives you strength and makes you Purnam. Vedanta is passive and only conveys the message. You can accept it and practice it if you want to do so. We do not know one Swarupam, the one who process of knowledge is formulated from Atma. Sorry, we do not know one Swarupam. The one who process of knowledge is formulated from Atma. Swamiji concluded the class with this. Hari Om Swamiji.
Shrutismritipurananamayam karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krito Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavakvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Namaste Shankarananda Gurupadambujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmane Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Just now what you heard, the finest and deepest form of Vedanta. So, so the discussion is on that. We continue. So how, by this understanding, how we can eradicate or remove the duality, the dvaidam of seer and seen, the object or the objectiveness or the subject and the form of subject. So now we have, in every action, we have two principles. One is the principle of subject, the state of subject as a seer, knower, and second is the principle of object. Now we are living in between. Our all conceptual ideas, life, karmas, and the effect of karmas are lying on these two. But usually we are unable to distinguish the subjective part and the objective part of our experience, our day-to-day experience. Here Vedanta start with that. First try to distinguish the subject and object in you, because both are in you. We consider object outside and subject maybe inside us ourselves. But the truth is, as we have seen in last maybe last couple of slokas, the objectiveness is also within us, and the consciousness what we experience is nothing but our own self, since that is always within us. So this the whole process is very, very fine, very, very deep. As here it is said, the sweetness of sweet cannot be distinguished, or that sweet doesn't need to borrow sweetness from any other object. You see how beautiful it is, how beautifully said in this sense. So now we are searching for objects and blessings and whatever, but we saw love, happiness, everything from outside, even knowledge. As the sweet can, if it's that sweet is searching for sweetness. So therefore, to identify this, because the sweetness is inside us and we are searching it from objects. The happiness is inside us. We are happy. We are happy with our own happiness, but we are searching it outside. So this is the what you say, the methodology of Vedanta. It takes you to the core of yourself, and then you will experience it. Because as Vedanta is concerned, even that experience is existing with you. That experience is your beingness. It means you can't avoid that. You can't escape that. You can't separate that. So you see how fortunate we are all. Everything is within us. So each kosha is, each cell of our body is made of that. So we are experiencing it. Now, what we discussed in 14th sloka, the madhuryadi swabhavanam anyatra sagunarpinam. You know this. So that sweet is always sweet. It cannot separate, impart its sweetness. Similarly, the Atma, the Swabhava, the nature, the essential nature of an object cannot be separated. So the next sloka says, Arpakantara rahityepyastyesham tasvabhavata ma bhutadhanubhavyatvam bodhatma tu nahiyate. We started the subject of the present discussion with the object raised by the opponent, or who was doubting on why, if Atma is all pervading, Atma is everywhere, Atma is our own self, why we are unable to experience that? Why we don't have that experience? Because we like to experience everything. The experience is ultimate for us. Experience is our achievement. If we won't count our achievements, we count all the experiences we had. Now, after studying all this Vedanta for so many years, if you have not experienced it, you will feel that I have not achieved it. It is not my achievement. You may count your degrees. If somebody asks, what are your achievements? What you count? You start your counting from your graduation. I have this graduation, I did this, I did that, I studied this, and I specialized this. All those you will count. But unfortunately, you will not count that I have studied Vedanta and experienced Atma. You will not count that. Because you are not there to say that. It's very difficult. Because you feel I have not achieved it. So actually, first achievement, if you want to count your achievements, you must first account that I am Atma, I am all pervading Atma, I am the consciousness. That is my first achievement. And the second achievement is I got a beautiful body, this physical body, to be born here, to be as a living being here. This is my second achievement. So like that you have to count. Now, all these are not achievements because something you already got without your concern, without your effort. So you don't feel those are achievements. So achievement means which was not there before and you did some effort and you achieved with your full consciousness, full no, your intellect, body and action. That is your achievement. But actually, this Atma is the first achievement. You got it. So it says, Arpakantara rahityepi asti esham tasvabhavata. Though there is no another lender of sweetness to that sweet, Arpakantara rahityepi. Nothing else can lender sweetness to sweet. The sweet itself is sweetness. Only sweet can be experienced that sweetness, nothing else. So the another object which is different from sweet, that must be sweetless. Maybe some other object, bitter or some other taste, salty or bitter or whatever. It cannot render sweetness to sweet. Now, what you understood from this? The understanding is what is not Atma, what is not consciousness, that cannot render, give, extend consciousness to consciousness. You please take this point as the first part of our sentence, because I can't say the whole concept of this shloka in one sentence. So I will make it part by part for making it simple, easy understanding. So you see, first part is that which has no consciousness, means unconscious or which has no consciousness, cannot extend or give lender consciousness to consciousness. Right? So arpakandara rahityepi. Now the second part of that idea is, now the other option is one consciousness, can one consciousness give consciousness to another consciousness? Because non-consciousness cannot give consciousness to consciousness. Then the second option is one consciousness may give the consciousness to another consciousness, its consciousness to another consciousness. Is it possible? No, it doesn't need. Like one sweet, it's sweet and it will not extend its sweetness to another sweet. Why? The sweetness the first sweet, the sweet number A has the sweetness, the same sweetness the sweet number B also has. Now, what is the need, or what is why the sweet A should extend its sweetness to sweet B? It's unnecessary, and we can't conceive it. There is no need for that. So in that case, no other consciousness can make you consciousness, may give you consciousness. So it cannot happen. Even God, even Ishvara, even God cannot give you consciousness. God cannot extend its consciousness to you. So God is also conscious. God is also consciousness. You are also consciousness. But there is no giving and taking. So tesham tad swabhavata. It cannot be never denied. Nature of being, knowledge, Atma is always in his Atma is its consciousness. So it is no change in that consciousness. Therefore, tat swabhavata. So it means now we can add a third part of this, which is naturally conscious, or which nature is consciousness, like sweet has sweetness as its essential nature, if we say that. So then in that case there is no increase or decrease in sweetness. So no other element can increase the sweetness or change the sweetness or anything like that. So no increasing, no decreasing, nothing, because its nature is like that. We can't make sweetness more sweet. We can't make sweetness more sweet, because sweetness is full of sweetness. So there is no degree of comparison. So therefore, Atma is being consciousness, because Atma is knowledge itself. So there is no increasing of knowledge in Atma. There is no change of knowledge in Atma in a comparative way. But we are seeing change in our knowledge. Now every day we are getting new informations. So we feel that my knowledge is increasing. Every class you attend, you feel that, oh, today I got some more information, I got some more knowledge, right? You feel it. But this all is false. When you end up with this third chapter of this Pancadashi, you will feel that I have not increased any knowledge. I have lost many ignorances, misunderstanding. So that is the problem with this study of Vedanta. Because Vedanta, as I said, no, is not giving any encouragement. It's not attracting you with encouragements or compliments. It's saying you are already you got complimented. You are fully complimented. So there is no need to compliment you. So this is the problem with that. Then if I say you got everything, now then what is not need for me? What is need for this class? What is need for the studies? People, the students will think. Therefore, our teachers, our masters would say, you see, when you teach Vedanta, you should be very careful. The problem is after studying for a period of time, maybe a couple of years, the students will feel that now these teachers cannot give anything more. Now this teacher is done. You know, teacher's teaching is finished, because he says you have everything with you. You are complete. You are Purnam. So now why he is teaching more? So we have these difficulties. We have a course like system here in our Gurukula, here in Brahma Vidyapith or in other ashramas, where we teach Vedanta as a main subject. The problem is after 1 year or maybe 6 months, the students they don't feel much interest, much encouragement, much feeling, because if they studied some Upanishads and all those, they say, okay, oh, everything is here within me. Now why I should try for more? So therefore we don't teach Upanishads in the beginning. So we teach all the Prakaranam Granthas and encourage them to study Sanskrit and all other darshanas little bit, and slowly then give bhashya and all these Upanishads. Even Pancadashi we take later. So this is the beauty of Vedanta. So Vedanta is not offering anything. So what you all got already, you are filled with, you are full with that. So just to analyze that, just to make you understand what you have. That's all. So ma bhut tada anubhavyatvam. Therefore, as the sweet cannot experience the sweetness of the sweet. I repeat the sentence, though the sentence anybody can understand. Now you see, if I say the sweet is experiencing the sweetness of the sweet, is it right? Sentence? Is the sentence is right? It's a correct sentence? I repeat again. The sweet some objects like laddu or jalebi or payasam or anything. The sweet or sugar, the sweet is experiencing the sweetness of the sweet. You got it? The idea? Okay. So now what does it mean? Because this sentence is wrong. This sentence is not communicating anything. We know the sweet is sweet. We think that some experience is there in the sweet. So we have the experience of sweet. We are not sweet, therefore we need sweet. Right, no? So, you see, so why we need sweet? Because we are not sweet. We are not, by nature, we are not sweet. But the sweet is by nature, sweet is sweet. Therefore, sweet doesn't experience sweetness. There is no need to experience. Okay, like no, for example, we can take if you have high sugar level in your blood sugar, so you become sweet. Now we can say, in that way. We should not say that, because people who have this diabetic and with this problem, they may feel little bad, but I am just connecting that. I'm sorry for that if you feel like that. So you see, if you are sweet, it means you have a sweet in the sense you have high blood sugar. So then what doctor suggests? You don't take sweets. Why? Because you are sweet, there is no need to take sweet. So this is how Atma is. Atma is consciousness, Atma is knower. So consciousness does not need to be conscious, or consciousness does not understand consciousness. So there is no anubhavyatva. So there is no experience of consciousness for consciousness. Once if you accept that I have consciousness, I am conscious, I am a conscious being, or what say, I have this experience of consciousness. If you accept that, then there is no experiencing process. Then the experiencing is gone. I think you got the point. Therefore, I brought the example of sweet, because sweet does not need to experience the sweetness of that seed, because it is sweet. Similarly, you are conscious, you are consciousness. So the consciousness does not needs to experience the consciousness, Atma or Brahma or anything. So in between the experiencing process disappears when you know that you are conscious. So therefore, in that case, we do not apply this word or this verb, the process, as experiencing. It will be very funny to say that consciousness is experiencing consciousness. Sweetness is experiencing sweetness. Because it doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless sentence. So therefore, ma bhut tatha anubhavyatvam. Therefore, you are unable to experience Atma because it cannot be experienced. And in another word, if you want to say, if you want to change, you want to bring the experience. Some people are very much attracted to this experience. They want spiritual experience, this experience, that experience, like that. If you are so much eager, so much attached to experience, then we say, we change the word consciousness and bring the experience. Now the experience, the experiencer as Atma, the experiencer cannot experience the experience, because the experiencer is with experience. Okay, if there is no experience, he is not experiencer. So as soon as I say experiencer, he has some experience. Now once he is experiencer, once he is experiencer, then there is no need to experience. He has the experience there. So then the experience itself Atma. The experiencer is additional, the attribution to that experience. So this way also we can say. But the thing is, there is no objectification of the nature of the being, nature of the self, not nature of the object, any object, like the sweetness of the sweet, the bitterness of some object, if it is bitter, the no form of any nature of or any like that, the light of sun, anything. So this is the swabhavam. So now if you know the swabhavam, you will never think that I can experience my own Atma. Till today we were thinking like that. I can experience myself. I can experience my nature. I can experience my consciousness. No, it cannot happen. If it is your nature, if it is your swabhava, it cannot be experienced. So bodhatma tu nahiyate. Then he says, okay, if I am not experiencing, then it may not be there. It may be absent there. It says no, bodhatma natu hiyate. Last class also we discussed, today we heard that because you cannot deny Atma, even the denial is known by Atma. So it's not possible. So the never denied. Bodhatma nadu hiyate. It cannot be denied. Now who is the denier? If Atma is denied, who is the denier? So denier cannot deny himself. How can denier himself? You see, this is very easy. Actually, if you got the point, I am playing with all these point, all these words. If you got the idea, you can just understand this. Just experience, and you will laugh on you. How fool I am. I was thinking this. I was thinking that. I have this problem. I am trying to experience this. People nowadays know when they teach meditation and courses, yoga, kundalini and slow and so they say, no, you can experience this, you can experience that. Of course they can experience, because whatever they teach, it is different from Atma. They are not teaching or about Atma or self. Other than Atma, everything you can experience, because those are the objects of Atma. Objects can be experienced. So therefore, this bodhatma natu hiyate. Bodhatma cannot be denied. We have already discussed when we discussed about the existence. As we said, existence cannot be denied. Sat. And then now we are in the Ananda, in the state of consciousness and bliss. It cannot be denied. So now the next sloka says, now his style of teaching, first he discuss all this with logically and give all examples and like that. Then he Acharya brings all the scriptural statements on the same subject. Now whatever we discussed is very different from what we know already or what we normally understand. So for this special discussion, we need the support of scriptures. So now he is continuing with scriptural words, like you can see. Swayam jyotis bhavatyesha purosmad bhasate khilat tameva bhandhamanvedi tat bhasa bhasyate jagat. So all the Shrutis say in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Narasimha Uttaratapani Upanishad, Swayam Jyotir Bhavati Esha. So this Atma is self-revealing, self-illuminated. It's light itself, knowledge itself. So Swayam Jyoti Bhavati Esha. Puro Asmad Bhasate Akhila. Therefore, it is shining even before whatever we see as sun, moon, and stars, and all fire and whatever the shining elements, whatever we see, it shines even before. So it is always means it is always shining with yes, tasmad bhasate akhilat. And taveva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa bhasyate jagat. All greatest radiance is borrowed from the Atman. Atma is the source of all radiance, all vibration, all light. So tameva bhantam. So that Atma is shining. Once Atma shines, everything shines. And Atma is ever shining, ever radiant. So even the light, whatever light we see, all the different kinds of light is borrowed from Atma. So it is a manifestation of that. It's manifestation of Prakriti, manifestation of Maya, or whatever we say. So it means Atma is self-illuminant, and whatever we see is within Atma. So all what we see is within Atma as one. So the whole creation is illumined by Atma. That's the idea. So this is a kind of meditation. You can think like that. That Atma is me. Therefore, my light, my knowledge, my consciousness is reflected in this world. Enedam janate sarvam tatkenanyena janatam vijñātāram kena vidyāchaktam vedyedu sadhanam. This is also from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, one of the greatest Upanishads we have. Yena idam janate sarvam tad kena annena janata. By which the whole universe is known. Then how can you know that? By which you will be able to know that? Tad kena annena janata. Because that is the knower of all the being, everything, the whole universe. So that it cannot be known. How can you know that? By any object, by any means. Vijñātāramare kena vidyāt shaktam vedyedu sadhanam. Vijñātāramare kena vidyāt. So you have many instruments like mind, intellect, and other instruments by which you know all the objects outside. But the mind cannot know this. Vijñātāram, because mind is an instrument. It's only an instrument. Mind works for the knower. Now the knower is always behind mind because instrument needs some support. Without that, instruments cannot be used. So mind is an instrument. Mind has some reflection of Atma, but mind cannot know its source. So it cannot be known. Vijñātāram. Are kena vijaniyat, kena vidyat. Shaktam vedyedu sadhanam. And then the last he says, this sadhanam, the instruments, can only know the object, the perceivable objects. So Shaktam kena, Shaktam vedyedu sadhanam. Vedyam means to be known, which is fit to be known. That is called Vedya. Vijnada means knower. Vijnanam means knowledge. And Vedya means which is fit to be known, the object of knowledge. To be known. That is called Vedya in Sanskrit. So now the thing is, here we have the three parts. As we know, we already have discussed in the beginning of this chapter, the knower, knowing, and known. Okay. Subject, object, and verb. Now you see, here all these three are one because something is there in the in the bottom of all these three, on which all these three functions. The functions are happening in something else. Like, for example, the Acharya will give, Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji will give the example later. If you imagine like ocean, sea. Sea is full of water, ocean is full of water. Now in that ocean, there is one wave, wave movement. And there is second wave movement and third wave movement. So there are three waves on the sea. Now when you see 1, 2, 3, we can count as 1, 2, 3. But all these three waves are in water, in that ocean. They are made of ocean, seen on ocean, yet separated as three. Right? Now if I say the first verb is seer, knower. The second verb is knowing, the verb. And third verb is object. Now we see different form of three verbs. So the verbs are changing. They are changing the place and moving around, changing. But it's made of the same object, same principle. Similarly, so now you see that the three are there. Now these three are connected. Three are connected by which? Three are connected with water. Three are connected as ocean. If you see as ocean, the verbs are in the ocean. It's part of ocean. If we want to make parts. Otherwise, we can call it as ocean. So now, from the viewpoint, when we say in that, in connection with the verbs and water, we can say the first, second, third, but they are equal to ocean. It's not different from ocean. Similarly, consciousness connects the object with the subject because of its all pervasiveness. Now the ocean is all pervasive in that sense, correct? And here the consciousness is all pervasive. The all pervasiveness of Atma will naturally connect all the subjects, all the objects, and all the actions of the object-subject connection, or what we say as verb, because it is everything in that atmosphere. It's happening inside. Now, you are all sitting there, you are all different verbs of that consciousness. I am one of that, as in this body, and each person is a different verb of that all-pervading consciousness. This is how it is all-pervading. Now we are all connected, as the ocean is the connector of three verbs. We are all connected with consciousness, because consciousness is all-pervading. So we are separated. If you want to say separation, we want to see separation in that aspect, then we can say we have different minds, like three waves have different shapes, like that. Different minds, different body, everything different, but we are connected as one. The whole world is connected. Now in that sense, there is no religion, there is no caste, there is no greed, there is no nothing in that sense. This is the reality. And people cannot accept this at once, because they think that we need to be separate. We need to be a different religion. We need to be a different caste, creed, and country-wise, language-wise. If you want, we can separate with all these. See how fool we are. So therefore, this is the oneness of Atma. This is the theory of oneness. The consciousness is behind consciousness ultimately. Consciousness is behind you, consciousness is behind me, and consciousness is behind everything, and consciousness is behind consciousness. Like the water is behind the waves and sea and the manifestation of that. Without that, nothing is possible. The consciousness is behind everything. Now you see, if you take your family, you take your family and think, this is all my family members, they are different form of consciousness, and the consciousness behind me, consciousness behind my husband, or behind my wife, my children, my mother, my grandmother, who are grandfather, father, and all those. So see that all pervasiveness of the Atma. So this can be very easily practiced. Now, when we see our friends, our relatives, we see them as a separate being with special qualities, special body, special mind, special behavior, and everything. That's okay. That's okay, as you can see the verbs are different. The A waves is very different from the B wave. That's okay. But we have to see what is behind. The consciousness is behind. So ultimately, consciousness plus consciousness plus consciousness plus consciousness equal to consciousness. So you add all the consciousness, it becomes conscious. Like sweetness plus sweetness plus sweetness plus sweetness plus sweetness equal to sweetness. That is our formula. So you remember this formula and meditate on that. Okay. And you will get so many things. Pancadashi is full of this. No, you cannot find such a no highly interesting textbook if you understand this. Because understanding his lines is very difficult. Therefore, as I said, no, before also I said, it's very nobody is teaching this. There are very few people who teach or write on Panchadashi like this, because uh, it's very interesting. There was one Swami, maybe 30, 40, 35 years, 35 years before, 30 years before, in Rishikesh. His name was Panchadashi Swami. Why he was Panchadashi? He was a Acharya, he was a big Acharya, respected Acharya. The whole life he taught only Panchadashi, no other test. So therefore people used to call him as his nickname as Panchadashi Acharya. He has one ashram, small ashram in Rishikesh. So he used to go to different places. His devotees in all country he used to travel and teach only Panchadashi. So it was interesting, people. If you understand that, and it's very good. Okay, so I think we can stop here with this sloka. Again, the next sloka comes connected with this. We'll learn that in next class. Okay, if there are questions, you can ask. So when you ask question, think behind the question, the consciousness is there. So you will get the answer there. Sometimes, no, if you are asking, the mind is asking the question, behind the question, behind the mind, the consciousness is there. So the answer is there behind. So just you have to connect that. So if you remove the question, then the answer is there as consciousness. Okay, even then you can ask if you want to ask the question.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji, it is told that consciousness cannot experience consciousness. So doesn't consciousness, it is knowledge only, it is not experience. So doesn't consciousness knows itself as that Purnam, that is bliss and that infinite existence? Doesn't it knows itself?
There is no knowing process. Knowing process is in intellect or connected to mind.
The
as
only
I said, no, as you see, you remember the example. What I said, the sweetness does not need to experience sweetness, or the sweet does not need to experience sweetness. This is the example I give, because it is sweet. Now, what is not sweet can experience the sweetness with some other medium. Therefore, Atma as consciousness itself does not need to experience consciousness. Then if you want to experience, we apply mind or intellect. So mind or intellect, which is actually separated as the different function or different manifestation, can do that experience. Like one wave will see the other wave, or the connection and separation and all, everything is seen there. But as water itself, there is no separation. So this was the idea. So therefore, making it an object, the objectification is not considered as the function or some action or something like that there in the Atma. So it's not possible. The conclusion is it's not possible.
So Atma doesn't know itself, but we say it's a Swarad. So to know Atma, we have to be a Jivas. Jiva only knows because the Brahmajnana means we are knowing the experiencing the
No,
this one.
no. It's not like that. There is, you cannot make yourself Jiva, because Jivatvam is not made. It's because of ignorance, Jivatvam appears. So you cannot be as Jivatva, as you said the sentence. The sentence is wrong in this condition, because you cannot be Jiva, because you cannot make Jiva or cannot change Jiva. You are like that. When if you know your nature, your Atma, if you don't know, you become Jiva. So the not knowing is the the existence of Jivatma. Okay, so contemplate on that, and we give chance to next question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Welcome.
What is the role of the planetary effects when it comes to Atma's reflection, on allowing like Atma's reflection on the jiva? Like sometimes they kind of like is it more the karmas of the person that brings that planetary effects, or is it the planetary effects that doesn't allow the jiva to realize the self?
Yeah. Okay. So you see, as for Atma, there is no planetary effect or anything. But of course, mind and body, intellect has these effects. Okay. So mind is affected by the changes and karmas of the planet Earth, different planets. When it changes, it happens, it is affected. But Atma is not affected. So whatever we do, or we try to practice in that for that remedy or something like that, for any problem or like that, the planets has its impact, energy level impact on the body and other things. So the body, mind and intellect, including ego, is the manifestation of karma. That we can say that the waves, the different waves are made of different waves of the air there, or the wind flowing there. So whatever reason, the pressure from the outside, or pressure from inside the ocean, and all those, so they are all karmas. So therefore the ocean is forming and manifesting as waves and other things. Okay, so there's a planetary change, you can see that. Similarly, the planetary change and other thing, according to the situation, whatever we say, physically or mentally, it changes. The astrology and astronomy has some impact on our life. So it is nothing, no connection with Atma or consciousness. Okay. Thank you. So we
Hari Om.
conclude with this.
Hari Om Swamiji, may I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Swamiji, you mentioned that sugar need not taste the sweetness as it is its very nature. Then, so is the thing with Atma. So, who in our body or in a human body is understanding this fact or aspect, or through a human body, which aspect of the soul is understanding this this particular knowledge at present? Is it soul, is it mind, or intellect, or something else?
It's obviously is mind and intellect or whatever. Mind, when we say, we take it as general. The mind understands. Mind has problem. Mind has misunderstanding. Mind has ignorance. So mind has to know. That's all. So there is no role directly. There is no role of Atma. But behind, as I said, no, just now I said, when you ask a question, behind the question, the Atma is there. Consciousness is there. But mind is asking the question because doubt is there in the mind, or less understanding, or confusion, or whatever we say, it's there in the mind. The mind is an instrument. There is no role of Atma. Atma is not a subject for connected to anything, any of these actions. Okay. So
by knowing all these things, mind is getting pure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji.
So you have a question? Okay,
Yeah.
please carry on.
Swamiji, when we say that we have the experience or the Atma Anubhuti, so that means only understanding Atma is cannot be experienced. Is that what is exactly meaning?
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So we conclude with this.
Hari Om Swamiji. Yeah, I have a question.
You are up here? Yes.
I have a question, Swamiji. When we say, like you said, that consciousness does not need to know consciousness, and consciousness is okay. When we say that consciousness does not need to know another consciousness, like you said about these waves, so is it like the Vedavakya Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma? If it is Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, then mind is as well Brahma, right? Intellect is Brahma and consciousness is Brahma. But mind gets Brahmit, so to say. So how come that mind gets Brahmit, and suppose it presumes a snake on a rope, like such examples? How is it possible when Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma is there?
Yeah, it's very simple. No, you see, I gave the example of ocean. So if ocean doesn't move, no, there is no movement in ocean. When you see ocean as water, but we see movements. How? Because there is some manifestation, some what you say, changes in the surface of the realm of water there. So this, you see that. Similarly, the core of, or the ultimate cause of mind and body and everything what we see is consciousness, Satchitananda. But there are so many manifestations. So manifestation changes the taste. Manifestation changes the shape. Manifestation changes, no, everything. It connected with other. So you make different sweets with different objects. When they are mixed with different thing, the sweetness is the same, but you taste differently. Similarly, these are all manifestation based on Maya, as we take as material cause. So material cause is changing, and when the changes happen, it happens. So you have to remember your base. The reason for the question is, we have, when we say Atma as all pervading, Atma Sarvam Khalidam Brahma. So we take Atma's ultimate cause. So there are immediate cause and ultimate cause. The immediate causes are different, and ultimate cause is the one and the same.
That means
So from the standpoint of ultimate cause, there is no separation as such. So therefore, mind is also Atma, but mind has a special manifestation. So it looks like different. Like water, when water become ice, snow or ice, it looks differently, but the content of water is the same. So there is some reason why water become ice plates, or ice or snow or whatever. It looks different.
or gets evaporated.
Yeah. So therefore, this is whenever you have such doubt, like just now I applied this, no? When you ask question, you have to remember that behind me, the same consciousness is making this doubt, and the consciousness is going to answer, and then you understand. So mind has all these changes. One mind asks, one mind thinks, one mind answers, responds, and this is what is happening there. So we have, when we see as Atma as one, it means it is Paramartha Satta. We call it as Paramartha Satta. We know the ultimate cause, ultimate existence, the final existence of everything, whatever we see. So in that point of view, everything is one.
So waves should be
Okay.
seen as Vyavaharik Satta.
Yeah, that's always.
Right. So,
Hariom,
Okay.
Swamiji, I want to
Thank you.
just reiterate that sentence which Nirmala ji had asked. So we cannot experience Atma because that is experience itself.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's correct.
Hariom.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.